sending this out to everybody before I get started. All right. Interesting to see that. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Gonna get started. Gonna wait a few more minutes, then I'll get started. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute. Gotta make sure things are good. Yep. Put that up a little higher. Okay. Ooh, ooh, Gonna wait a couple more minutes just because I was late. Alright, once the next song plays, then I'll probably start. Alright, let's get it started. Good evening. You know why I'm here. Thank you guys for checking out another one of my weekly analysis. This is your boy ABK, and let's go ahead and get this thing started, And of course, this video is brought to you by Arbitrage. You guys know that is what I use for my edge in the market. Arbitrage helps me to stay in trades a little longer than usual technical analysis. Well, because I'll be like, oh, well, then it will tell me when to exit, tell me when to enter a trade. Gives me a whole different options, And so just wanted to say that if anybody is interested in using that indicator, they do not be afraid to hit me up. I'll give you more information on the arbitrage bands. Alright, so now that is with, let's go ahead and get started with this analysis. So, first and foremost, there's just no high impact news Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, there is OPEC JMMC meetings for oil, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And so that will be an all-day thing. And Friday, there would be not NFP, non-farm payroll unemployment rates. So Friday, 7:30. I mean, the whole week in general, you're going to want to watch it, right? You're going to want to watch it because if the whole week, usually the whole week of NFP, the US dollar does stuff that it necessarily doesn't usually do, right? So you just want to watch for that on NFP. So let's go ahead and just go on over to the charts. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of my drawings first of all. Well, first of all, just want to point out that the DXY has broken through my resistance right here. This is my supply zone right here. I actually wanted it to come back down here to retrace, get into this buy box, and then push to the upside, but it definitely didn't do that. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and hide that and see the candle that printed out. So we have a good looking Barbosa candle right here. It's pretty thick. Looks like it's giving a lot of bullish momentum. So I am gonna be a little wary because I still am looking for This is still really bearish for me to say that. I am still 100% bullish on it, but my bias is changing to bullish though, right? So let's go ahead and put my drawings back on, and it's going over to the daily time frame and see what it looks like. Okay, so like I said, it's broken through my supply zone, and now it's become demand. And so now what I'm really looking to see is what price is going to do here. Let me go ahead and get rid of all these drawings first and foremost. And I remember I was saying that price can just easily just do a break and retest of this zone right here. A break, retest, continuation to the upside. It did just that on the lower time frames. I can see a small W pattern right here. Well, not a W, just like a double bottom type of thing. Doesn't look like a W, it's just a double bottom. Oops, stay in drawing mode. Then the push to the upside. Retest of the neckline, continuation. That was actually pretty nice. Pretty nice how that played out. But I'm gonna get rid of all that. And I still kind of want to see some type of retracement on the DXY, because I'm not a big fan of just buying into price, especially once it breaks through a high supply zone like this. I kind of want to see it do some type of retracement. And if I were to be kind of realistic with myself here, from this push to the downside on the daily, let me get rid of this because the break and retest is done. When I'm really looking at this on the daily time frame, from this high, from this high to that low, I'm not really a big fan of it. Hold on, give me a second. There you go. I'm not really a big fan of seeing price push a little higher quite yet, but it can, you know, because it could definitely still hold at this level that, I mean, let me just go ahead and draw this out real quick so you guys can see how many more interactions. You have like a lot of like consolidation right over here around this area. So I'm not really totally against price pushing up a little bit higher to 93.170 before dropping. And again, this is NFP week, so we could possibly be seeing some type of push to the downside, because overall, on the weekly time frame, we are very bearish. So I cannot, that's why I'm saying that as of right now, I can't really say in good faith that I am bullish on the DXY long term. But then again, we could also do this, same thing, right? If you want to put a fib there, it's like, oh, well, then you have to wait for that retracement for price to come all the way up there. And yeah, I could look at that, but that's not what I'm looking at for this week, right? Or this is not what I'm looking at for like the next week or month in advance, right? So what I'm really gonna wait and see is to what the DXY is gonna do right here, because I do remember last week on arbitrage, I was seeing that on the 1 hour, this was calling for sells. So I really want to see what price is gonna do at this level right here. It's very interesting. Gonna put this alert here at the 78.6 fib. 78.6 fib on the DXY. And I'm going to see if price is really going to come up here, because like I said, you can see some kind of a consolidation right here. Like you have price using it as resistance at one point, then breaking through it, using it as support, breaking down, resistance, and just a whole bunch of noise right here, right, if you will. So I'm just really waiting to see what to make of that, because I don't want to just say that, oh, I'm going to look to sell the DXY when it's just been making higher highs on the 4 hour and even on the daily time frame. Because after it broke the structure, that's when I'm like, okay, now I can start to say that this is a bullish structure. I mean, the trend is changing to bullish, right? But again, with this fib, I gotta see how it's gonna handle itself before I say that, okay, I'm gonna look to buy it, right? Let's go on over to arbitrage, make my life a little easier. So yeah, 1 hour time frame, like I said, it was calling for a sell. It looks like we have a gap to the upside on the DXY. Weekly time frame on here though. Why does it keep? No, it should not be in sync. I don't know why it keeps like the same drawings as I had. That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna hide that. and annotate from Zoom. So where is it? Annotate. Alright, so for the DXY, I had mentioned that I wanted to see that bullish push to the upside and then a retest and then a continuation to the upside for me to get into this DXY long-term buy, right? So we have push to the upside. I want this retest back at 92.029, and then I want to see that week it hold right here. If it holds right here, then I'll look for a long-term buy on the DXY, just using arbitrage, right? So wanted to point that out first and foremost. Daily time frame has been bullish since it's called for the buy for a couple of days now, since the 3rd of March. 4-hour time frame been bullish as well. But like I said, the 1-hour time frame, I'm looking for this buy, especially with the way how price gap to the upside. I mean, I'm looking for this sell, not the buy, because I'm looking for buys on Euro USD. So I'm still looking for the sells to play out right here, and I'm really interested to see how things are going to play out. 30 minutes calling for a sell. This is the last call that it made. It did gap to the upside, so I want to see that gap close as well. And 15-minute time frame, it's gapped to the upside, but it hasn't made anything yet. But the market's just open, you know, so that gap, like I said, I do want to see it get closed. But other than that, I'm kind of still bearish. I want to see I want to see what the DXY is really about to do, because I'm still kind of bearish on it, quite honestly. It's in an area where I'll be looking for it to drop. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of, I'm just bearish on it a little bit. And I have this alert here to let me know that, oh, if price gets here, then that could be a possible stop hunt to the upside and the price pushes down. So let's see what the DXY does, right? Let's go over to Euro USD. All right, Euro USD. So first things first, want to mention this buy that I'm in, right? And the reason why I'm in this buy is because from this swing low to this swing high, price came to my 71% fib that I was watching for with the buy box within my buy, and I got into the buy. Now I set my stop loss like this because usually this would be the trade setup. That I have. But because of how the DXY is reacting, that is the reason why I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to set my stop loss and my take profit a little lower than usual so that I can wait and see how the DXY reacts. Because realistically speaking, I could always make my stop loss wider, or I could always make my take profit smaller or anything like that, you know? So I'm just in this trade. I'm waiting to see what happens. I like that it's holding at the 78.6. That's where it rejected off of last week. I forgot to show the weekly candle on Euro USD. Just looks like the price wants to keep dropping on the weekly, personally speaking. But again, if I'm using the fibs, then this is exactly where I'll be looking to buy at. Even though it broke this structure, that's what the banks want traders to think, that, oh, it broke the structure, therefore they might be thinking that it's time to sell. Not yet. I will have to wait and see 1.1600 to break before I say, okay, yeah, I'm bearish on Euro USD, personally speaking, right? So I'm still holding this buy. I'm still really actually liking this buy a lot, especially I'm seeing that the DXY on the 1 hour time frame and the other lower time frames that is starting to turn around. But again, I just have my stop loss this low, and it's still a 1 to 2.66. So this is not a terrible risk to reward ratio. But I'm still holding this trade because of the possibility that price might just keep dropping. And who knows, maybe price might even come and possibly grab some liquidity down here. Who really knows, right? But I'm just not gonna play. I'm not gonna play with a bigger stop loss and a bigger move on Euro USD yet. Let me go on over to arbitrage real quick. And actually, let me see. Yeah, weekly time frame. come up to these highs, retesting right here, continuation. We never got a retest of this zone right here, so that's something to watch out for, but still. Just overall on the weekly, this is really bullish. So for me to say that after like 1, 2, 3, 4, like a couple of weeks of price being bearish, I can't really say that my opinion on this is I want to start to sell it yet, you know? Not until, like I said, it breaks 1.1600, then I'm like, okay, maybe. And then I'll probably look for it to come down to like 1.11620 or something like that before I look to buy it longer term to the upside. So let's go over to arbitrage. Yep. Well, that's, first of all, EU buy. So I'll give you guys an entry. I'll give you guys a trade. But before I talk about that, let's go ahead and see what this weekly time frame is looking like. Same thing. I'm waiting for this retest for me to get in. Now that I've gotten the weekly break of the RSI line, I need a retest of this RSI line, which is at 1.19275. I need a retest of that, and then a continuation. Then I'll get in for the sell long term for the continuation. Now, this is going to be a position. This is going to be like literally a position trade where it's going to take like weeks or months. So I would suggest that if you are going to get into this trade, make sure that you have enough capital in your account to sustain you for a long time, and use use risk management very wisely. So this is what I'll be looking at for, and maybe it'll take like, let's just say from right here, and let's say that it just fills up this whole thing, right? So from here to here, it's gonna take probably like 133 days or 126 days for this whole thing. If let's just say if it goes all the way down, for it to reach to the corner right here, it's looking like it's estimating to be 126 days. So that's just something that I'm watching out for, right? So I'm waiting for this retracement for price to come back up here, and then I'll get into that sell for a long-term basis, and I'll probably put that on like on a separate account than on a daily trading account or something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and hide this. All right, daily time frame on Euro USD has been very much bearish, so that's another reason why I'm like, okay, look at the weekly for a sell. 4-hour time frame, very much bearish as well. 1 hour, don't mind this trade over here. Wait, actually, I might need that. 1 hour time frame just called for a buy, and it's already retested this. Oops. There we go. And it's already retested this RSI line. So I'm just really looking for this to like just push to the upside. So if you haven't really gone into a Euro USD trade already, then you could go ahead and get into, oops, that's a sell. You can go ahead and get into this right here. Cool Sunday, get some Sunday pips going on, you know. Just look for a very short-term trade opportunity, right? I'll just give it a 1 to 2 basically. And you could also use this as a long-term trade. It's like you could use this entry as a long-term trade for yourself. But this is what I'm looking at for like just Sunday. Risking like maybe like 1% on this trade type of thing. I'm gonna set my alert to tell me when to get out. Long exit all. I'm gonna put only once because sometimes I forget to like turn off an alert and I just keep going off. So I'm gonna put only once, and then that'll make me be like, okay, I gotta be alert for the exit type of thing. So that's for Euro USD 1 hour. 30-minute time frame is called for the buy. It's riding along the RSI line. 15-minute time frame, it's calling for the sell, but I'm not really using the 15-minute time frame. So again, let's see how Euro USD holds, right? Let's see how that plays out. But I am in this swing opportunity right here as well. So that's for Euro USD. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to AUD USD. Let's take a look at what it did last week. Weekly time frame, nothing really too crazy. Just, it's not a doji candle necessarily, but it's not showing a candle that's showing that it wants to push to the downside. It's holding at this very, very noticeable demand zone right now. So that's one thing. So let's go ahead and put that back up. Daily time frame. Okay. this is what I was saying I would look for if price was going to drop. I needed to break through, retest, and continuation to the downside. And I still feel the same way if price does end up breaking to the downside. So I'm going to hold. I'm just going to leave that there. I still feel the exact same way if price breaks down. But as you can see from right here, it's still holding at this buy box area that I have. And after it was showing like very bearish impulses, that's what it was doing. Even with this head and shoulders that I had mentioned last week, that was potentially playing out. That would have been a nice entry right here if you would have gone into that sell, to be quite honest. But anyways, and even if I am looking for sells on this right now, which I'm kind of really not, is I need to see 0.77751 get hit first, and then I would look to sell it for the breakout to the downside. But seeing that the DXY really did numbers like how it did last week, and AUD USD didn't break through this demand zone right here, that's just quite, like, again, that's just making me question how it's just making me question, is this going to keep selling? I don't think it is personally, you know, but I am going to nonetheless. What is this right here? Oh, that's what I had for the head and shoulders. I'm going to actually set an alert for this right here, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not really like feeling the sell, to be quite honest. I'm just setting an alert here to let me know when price gets there, but I'm not really intrigued in selling AUD USD at this point in time. And if I was gonna buy it, which, you know, is something that I wasn't really prepared to do last week, I would have bought it down at 0.75777. I wasn't prepared to buy it there because I was really still contemplating if AUD USD was going to drop. But then once I started seeing these rejections over here, I was saying, oh, this might be where price turns around. And I think I talked about that somewhere in the chat. I'll have to go and check later on. But again, if I'm going to sell it, then I would have to sell it like right here. So I just have this, I believe this is the trend line. I just have it there chilling. And I'll wait to see what price does, if it gets there or not. But I do think it is going to get there. And again, I do think that this buy box is going to play out eventually, and price pushes to the upside. And yeah, just look at it, even at the daily. I mean, I do see the head and shoulders is very much visible, but it hasn't broken through. And if it didn't break through last week, and then me seeing like an engulfing candle right here, a daily engulfing candle right after all that, I'm not really looking for for sells that much. And again, it'd only be if price comes up to here, where you have all this consolidation at the high. That's where then I would look for a probable sell type of thing on AU, right? So let's go on over to arbitrage. Going over to the weekly time frame. Still very much bullish, but it does look like they might be setting up for a potential buy. Let me get rid of all this right here. But the one thing that I do want to watch out for, especially with price hanging out at this momentum line and the compass line area, if price holds right here, then I do believe wholeheartedly that AUD USD will just keep pushing to the upside. Got the daily call for the sell right here, but even if I were to try to get into this sell, again, I would have to wait for price to push back up to this RSI line, and then I'll sell it, type of thing. But man, this thing played out well. Imagine getting a sell right there at the upper danger zone. That would have been clean. Let me see how many pips that would have been. Damn, 225, nice. All right, 4 hour time frame. 4 hour looks like it's starting to set up for a potential buy. So this is something that I'll be watching out for, but I'll probably just look at it on Tuesday to see what it will do, because I doubt that it'll just give me that on Monday. Like, it'll just give me that, oh, Sunday night, Monday morning, Tuesday morning type of thing. I doubt it's going to do that, so I'll wait for it. I'm going to be patient on it. 1 hour time frame had already called for the buy. I would never have gone into it because I would have needed the retest. But yeah, AUD USD is going bullish, so we'll see what this does. Let me see what the 2 hour looks like real quick. 2 hour, nice. Okay, so this was the break and retest right here that I would have got into. Break, retest, continuation. So, but hey, we might get price coming back down. I doubt it, but we might get it to come back down real quick and then continue taking it to the high. So we'll see what AUD USD does, but I am definitely bullish on it for now. Like, I don't really think that, again, I don't really think that price is going to just keep pushing down on NFP this week, but we'll see what happens, you know? I could be wrong, and I am totally down to be wrong. So that's something I was watching and I didn't really react on. Okay, so USD CHF, just making higher highs. 23rd of March, it gave this huge engulfing candle, and as I would expect, it will just keep going higher highs, right? Weekly candle, definitely a bullish candle, so not really looking for any type of sells at this point. I mean, if anything, let me see if I even drew it out. Yeah, I drew it out. It was just like a break and retest of the zone. I thought it was going to be a liquidity grab type of thing, but apparently it had different plans. Daily time frame. I'd mentioned that I did want to see one of two things happen here. Is I wanted to either see a price push to the downside, retest and continue to this buy box, where then I would expect for long-term buys, or I was saying that I would just want price to break out to the upside, retest, and then continuation to the upside. And so this latter one, because I didn't really want it to go bullish, that's what ended up playing out. So I'm gonna get rid of this fib for now until I start seeing something else. And so we got the breakout of this consolidation zone. Get rid of all this stuff right here for now. Now I'm gonna push these up here because this is where it really broke out of. Now I do still really see USHF going bullish, but then I'm just really like, how much more type of thing, you know? Because especially like I said with the DXY, like the DXY did push up to the upside, but it's at a zone where it could definitely look to be turning around, and even kind of, well, not really. This looks more like a freaking 50% than anything to me if I'm looking at from this high to this low. Oh, never mind. I take that back. This is 61.8. This can possibly, I'm gonna really watch to see what price does at 0.94437. I don't trade USHF as much regardless, so that's even better. So just watch to see what it does here. You know, that could be a certain level that I could be looking at. Let me actually see something real quick. Support and resistance. I've been playing with a little bit with the support and resistance. Gonna start using it a little more. It's arbitrage support and resistance. Yeah, this is definitely still very much bullish. It hasn't even broken through that 5-minute support and resistance yet. So yeah, nah, this is definitely still bullish. So like I said, I'm gonna watch what price does at 0.94454. Personally, I'm not really looking for any type of trade on USHF at this point. And let me even see where the point of control is at. Yeah, on the weekly, the point of control is way high. So that's even funny to see. Or daily, like the same thing as the weekly. It's gonna basically show me the same spot. Yeah. So, all right, let's go over to arbitrage. I was really trying for this 1 hour, I think, right here. Oh no, that was a 15-minute time frame. Never mind. All right, so USHF 1 hour time frame. We do have a sell coming up, so maybe this was a potential stop hunt with all this. Like, it was just not a stop hunt, like your average stop hunt where price is just like, oh, gonna push to higher for like 10 seconds, then drop down and never come back. Maybe it was just like, okay, I'm gonna stay up here and fake out traders to make them think that I'm gonna buy and sell, because I am seeing this possible sell here, and I do want to see the DXY drop as well. So I'll be watching this. This is something that it'd be a little risky of a sell, because I don't really care for the way how it looks right now. So I'll be watching for it. 4-hour time frame, extremely bullish. Daily time frame, oops. Daily time frame, extremely bullish. Weekly, I'm still looking for this, guys. I'm still looking like like what I said with last week. I'm still looking for this push back down to like 0.90614. If I can get that push back down, then I might get into this buy. But I mean, it's already at the mean line, so I don't even think I would do that, personally speaking. You know, so it just depends at this point. But as of right now, this has just been really bullish. You know, and this is actually my first time really trading Chf, and it being this bullish. I've never seen it this bullish before. But I haven't traded it for that long, so this is just like a pair that I've started trading like late last year. But yeah, this 1 hour, I'm really gonna be watching for it. Like, I kind of wanted more confirmations down here for this sell, but I mean, if it's gonna hold right here, this is definitely a riskier type of move. Not really, because EU is basically doing the same thing. It's just, this is just a different pair. Yeah, I like that. I like that 60 pip stop loss. Like a short-term move. 40 pips for 16 pips. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this sell on Chf. I'm gonna risk 1% on this as well. And so we'll see. Yeah, 1%. Yeah, I like it. Because regardless, I need to see some type of retracement on this really bullish move. So that's for Chf. Regardless, no matter what way you look at it, from this bullish move, I need a retracement of some type. Even if it just goes to the 38.2. So that's Chf. Let's go on over to S&P. Man, S&P broke a lot of people's hearts on Friday. Not even on Friday, just last week. It just broke a lot of people's hearts. First of all, let me get rid of all this stuff. Remember this structure that I drew? It's funny how price came back and retraced to that and then pushed to the upside. But that's besides the point. So price gave... Let me actually use the rewind tool right here. So price came. Ooh, that is not what I wanted. There you go. So price gave this bearish engulfing candle on the daily, and then I'm pretty sure a lot of traders, and they probably did eat off of this move pretty nicely when they did that sell. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and draw this fib out, because I probably would have did the same thing, to be quite honest. And I'm gonna be looking for sales like around 3969, because again, that's something that I would have looked for. Wait for that retracement. Didn't even give that retracement first. It had to drop even lower. Then you would say that, okay, so I still want this retracement at 3961. Price pushes up to that 61%. Oh yeah, you eating. That's a perfect sell. First of all, it didn't give me my entry that I would have wanted, but that's a nice sell. Let's go look at the daily time frame. I just really want to see how this played out. Is it really not going to give me this? Wow, whatever. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So it dropped, and then it almost even came to the extension. Apparently. Well, I'm not seeing that. Yeah, it probably has to do this over here. There you go. Almost came to the extension. And then rejected off of this previous structure right here. Jumped off of this previous structure. And then took off from there. That's crazy. I like that. Came right back up. Don't look to sell it. Do not look to sell this. This thing looks like it's going to go and make higher highs, personally speaking. So let me delete all this. Yes. So let me delete all that. Yeah. I personally will not look to try to sell this, especially when it's like double topping at like all-time highs. You can, but with these two candles, daily candle like that, then another like engulfing candle like that, I'm expecting this to make all like higher highs. Kind of move that I would do with this is be like, okay, well then right here, get into a buy, like buy stop type of thing. That's how I'm feeling about this. But I'm not even gonna buy stop it. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. But again, I personally would not look to buy this. It looks like it's just gonna go and make higher highs. If you want, get the buy stop at these previous highs. Set your stop loss maybe like at 3950 or something like that, and then just take it to the upside. That's all I can see on S&P, honestly. Nasdaq, same thing, guys. Like, I'm still very much bullish on it. I don't think it's just the mere fact that it came down here and it still hasn't came back any lower than that. I still think this is going to make higher highs. It's just been playing around over here, consolidating in between this zone right here. Just been consolidating in that zone mostly. But I mean, if anything, this might be... No, I don't like that. I mean, this looks like it's probably the bearish out of all of them, personally speaking. Let me just get rid of everything, to be quite honest. For definitely on like the 4-hour and lower time frames, this is definitely in a downtrend. Like, can't deny that whatsoever. I'd really need to see like something like this get broken on either side for me to have a decision on where I would take it. But me personally speaking, I like the buys on NAS 100. I personally like the buys better than the sells. I mean, if it is going to be a continuation, then the sell definitely is what's going to happen most likely. But it's just the way how it's just been behaving, and then also has been holding at this 4-hour structure to the upside. So I'm just like, okay, man, let me just kind of, although I don't want to trade it, I do still kind of want to buy it. I just don't have an entry for it personally. I mean, even from this low, came very close to 61.8%, but yeah, I don't have an entry on this. But I would look to just look for buys on the Nasdaq personally, just because of the way how US SPX 500 looks. 1-hour time frame also called for this buy. Dang, faked people out on arbitrage for sure, because I would have probably got out right there. Right here, I would probably got out, but then boom, look how it did that. That's crazy. 4-hour time frame, barely over the RSI line, so that's something that you really want to watch out for. But again, I'm not really looking at, like, personally, I'm not looking to buy this quite yet. I'm still kind of leery on it, especially with arbitrage on the daily still calling for a sell. But then with everything else buying, I kind of do want to buy it. A weekly time frame is definitely more than bullish, so hey, there you go. That's the highest time frame that is calling for a buy on as of right now. But 4-hour, yeah, it's kind of iffy. 1 hour, dang, man, this last hour at 2 o'clock killed people with the sells. I bet, man, it's crazy. and Dow Jones, let's go take a look. Maybe I won't be surprised if it made higher highs. Oh, it did not make higher highs. It made equal highs. All right, cool. Let me get rid of all this too. Did it come anywhere near this? A little bit. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, very close to this structure. Although I think I just had it misplaced. But if I had it here, then it definitely would have hit that. Yep. Came to that structure, made highs. Again, I am not advising for anybody to buy this. If you do, then buy it after it crosses these equal highs. I mean, after it breaks through these highs, that's when I would look to buy it. But even then, I don't know where you would take profits at. But this is extremely bullish. Like I said, it's just extremely bullish. I want to see something. Damn, that's clean. Off from this swing low to the swing high, the retracement. That is beautiful. That's textbook right there. That's really textbook right there. Man. That is textbook. But yeah, regardless, like I said, don't look to buy this. Everything on here is bullish, I'm pretty sure. Even the 15-minute. Yeah, everything's bullish. 1 hour. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. I mean, that's 4 hours, sorry. Daily, been bullish. Weekly time frame, ridiculously. Yeah. Just don't try to sell Dow Jones. If you do, then hey, by all means, you could try to probably sell it down to here. Or something like that. Like I personally would look for sells. If which I don't think I can, if price can come back to like 32372, maybe I'll get into a buy, but I don't think it will. So I'm just gonna leave that there just in case it does. That'd be funny, but like I said, I don't think it will. All right, so let's go on over to Mr. Tacos. Well, would you look what it did? And this is what I was talking about with Usd Chf. Maybe it's doing a prolonged stop hunt because look what USD Mexican did. Remember how I was talking about last week where I was saying that this is all I see up here is liquidity. Price came up and grabbed the liquidity and was up here for how many days? I think it was up here for 2 days. For one whole day, it closed over, and then the other next day it crashed, came back down. So it really did take up the stuff. It did take out the liquidity and did the digital dash to the downside. Now, one thing I am watching for, in particular, is for price. Let's see where it comes. I would love for it to come down to like 20, like a little, like just come back to my entry that I really did want previously. Because I'm still looking for that entry for a potential sell. I mean, for a potential buy on this move. It did happen once. It could happen again, but you know, just gonna be again. I'm gonna be really patient on USD Mexican. I want to swing. I want to get into a really good swing or position trade on this. So, yeah, I'm still waiting for price to like come down back down here. Realistically speaking, it could very well just hold at this structure. At this it could just really hold here and then go bullish, but I'm not expecting that, and that's not what I'm going to be trying to buy into, right? So let's go on over to arbitrage. We do have big gap to the upside. We do have a gap to the upside on USD Mexican, and we also do have arbitrage. It's close. The RSI line is very close, but again, I'm really not looking for buys at this time. 4 hour time frame has called for a sell, so I would literally look for a retest of this kind of, and then a continuation down, to be quite frank. Daily time frame, it's riding on this RSI line, so that's something that I'm really going to watch out for. It could definitely look to push to the upside from here, but again, that's not what I'm watching for. And again, the weekly time frame, this weekly RSI line is still holding. So I'm looking for this to still drop a little bit. So that is for Mr. Tacos. Still gonna like watch it and be observant of it, but really not feeling the buys as of yet. Let's go on over to gold. Goldilocks. Man, gold has been trolling, man. I don't know how long you guys been watching me, but you guys see this all the time. Every time gold makes a big move, what does it do? It consolidates for the longest time, but then it makes big moves right after. So I still feel the same exact way as last week, guys. Price has just been consolidating. If anything, I still need price to come up to 1762, 1767 before I would look to take it to the downside. That's just my personal opinion on that. Just wanted to make sure that my mic was moving. Because like I said, it's just been consolidating, going up, down, up, down, up, down. Look at this candle right here. With this candle right here, I would think that price is gonna drop, but it's just been consolidating and still holding at this at this support, because that's what I'm like looking at this as. Let me look on the daily time frame, and I'm just gonna mark this off and just to show you guys how much of like kind of nothingness this is. Like, it's just the same thing with over here. You have a whole bunch of consolidating, at this zone right here. So it's just weird, you know. But I still do want to see this retest and push to the downside right after. I can't change my bias on that. It's just been consolidating. I don't know what else more to say about that. Arbitrage, 1 hour time. I mean, this is 1 hour. Let me go to the 4 hour. 4 hour called for the sell, rejected off of the RSI line twice. Hold on. Sorry, I thought I heard my dog barking. I'm pretty sure she was. And yeah, 4 hour. Like I said, I still do expect this to drop. Like, break retest continuation to the downside. I do kind of expect this to drop, and based on arbitrage, it's still holding, so it looks still pretty nice. Daily time frame still extremely bearish, so I can't really go against that sell. But personally, I still want to see 1765, 1770 get hit. So with that being said, just be careful out there. I'm not in gold, I'm not in anything, but this 4 hour, it may be playing out, but I don't personally want to be in it. Alright, so that is for gold. Let's go on over to the cryptocurrencies before I go on to the GBPs and the Euro pairs. Alright, so Mr. Bitcoin been chilling at this 56,000 area, 56,000 area for the past couple of days, past 1-2 days. I still do want this entry for a buy. I can't just get into a buy right here. And remember how I had mentioned that this could have been the potential move right here, from this low to this high. This could have been the move getting into the buy. If you would have got into that, then you would be up about 4,726 pips. That's pretty nice, pretty decent. But again, I wasn't personally watching for that. Like, I need this entry right here, from this swing low to that swing high, retrace, come right here to 48,000 area, and then let's go and make higher highs to 64,000, baby. That's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Let me do a zoom in. Let me zoom into what price is doing currently. So kind of what I'm seeing here is that, I mean, let's just take it from this high right here, right? From this high, you take it to this next trend line, take it all the way down. All I really need to see is if price breaks through here, then we could expect price to continue making higher highs, right? And same thing with the uptrend. Let me fix this real quick. I don't like drawing trend lines like this necessarily, but that's kind of how I have to draw them. But yeah, just kind of waiting to see whichever side breaks. That would be where you would look for your, like, oh, if price is going to buy or price is going to sell. Again, I am more bearish on it than bullish, especially since I wanted to come down to this 48,000 area, 47,000. That's so that I can get a discount price, you know, but the price is really discounted right here for price to continue to the upside. And it just might, because again, this is extremely bullish. It's a bullish market. Wouldn't expect price to really try to sell. Let's go and see where the point of control is at. So this is where the point of control is, like right where price was already at. So that's something very interesting to look at. And then look where point of control comes to down next, right near my area. So that's something exactly. This is exactly what I'm waiting for. I want price to really drop down over here. So going over to the daily, I want to see it over. Oh my goodness, down at 7,000. I don't know if price will ever come back down to 7,000, to be quite honest with you. But hey, that's there. You guys see how there's like literally no point of control up here? That's funny. It's funny to see on Bitcoin. It always is. But so yeah, I still want my entry regardless at 48,000 for Bitcoin, and I'll see wherever price breaks out to what would happen. But until I get this pricing, I don't think I'm gonna buy Bitcoin. Maybe I'll buy like Bitcoin if it breaks out right here. Maybe on Coinbase or on Binance or something, but not on my MT4. All right, so hold on. Before I continue, sorry guys. Let me go on Bitcoin and look at arbitrage. Totally forgot. 4-hour Bitcoin arbitrage called for a buy. If anything, if I were to get into this buy, I would need price to come back down to like 54,000. But it had already done a breakout, then it retested this, so I can't really say that it's wrong. But yeah, I can't necessarily get into this buy on the 4-hour quite yet. I know the daily is still very much bullish. It's over here at the upper danger zone. If it really still holds here by tomorrow, then I would still expect it to sell, to be quite honest. Weekly, forget about it. It's extremely bullish on the weekly. 1-hour time frame, as I mentioned in my chat, it is calling for a sell and is doing the retracement right now actually. So hey, this actually might be a good sell opportunity, and if price just ends up going bullish, then take that L, right? Bitcoin, I like this sell opportunity. I'm already in a sell on Ripple, so I like it when the other cryptocurrencies are showing me sell possibilities as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna put my stop loss above the highs, and if price does break through to the upside, then probably it's gonna go and hit 60,000. So yeah, I like this possibility right here for sure. And even let me go over here onto just like, well, not regular technical analysis. Let me just do it over here. Far just to say, from this breakout and the retest, I believe that's the 61.8. Close to it, very close to it. But still, I like this sell. I'm getting in it. So that's Bitcoin. Pretty sure Ripple is something very similar. All right, Ripple. As I mentioned last week, it's the same. It's basically the same setup as I mentioned last week. Price came to these highs, even at this high. Let me just come over here. Dropped, retraced. I like where it's been rejecting off of it. Rejected off of the 78.6 very nicely. Then it dropped down, came back up here, still holding at this level. I want us to see it continue fall. If it's going to come down to 25 cents or not, or even if it just comes down to like 36 cents or 37 cents, I'll be more than happy with that. But I'm currently bearish on Ripple until it really breaks through the 78.6 zone and keeps going higher. That's when I'll be like, okay, now I'm not really that much bullish on Ripple, right? And we have to see that this is something that's been playing out for days now. This is something that's been like, remember where was it that we took this buy up here? We took this buy like back on February. Price pushed up, then it came back down, then it retraced and it's been holding here. And I'm like, okay, if it does break through and it actually closes above these wicks, then I'll start to say that, okay, yes, Ripple, I would still want to continue buying it. But I think that it's going to drop possibly to 36 cents, maybe even lower, personally speaking. Arbitrage wise, again, I am still in my sell. 1 hour band has contracted, so if you are in this and you want to get out, by all means, I wouldn't want you to be in a trade that you don't feel comfortable being in, right? Just know that the 2 hour time frame is just called for the sell, and I am expecting this I still expect this to fall, so I just know that I'm still in the trade. Daily time frame, it's very much bullish. Just broke and retested that, so you want to watch for that personally. 4 hour time frame, it has been riding on this RSI line. That's something that I'm really not a fan of right now. It's just been riding on that RSI line. But once it breaks through this, if it could break through this support, and I'll just go show you guys on here real quick. If price can break through this little support right here, then it'll just keep dropping for sure. And even if it comes down to like 49 cents or 50 cents, that'll be kind of solid actually. Because if it starts to show rejections there, then I'm like, okay, then maybe this does really want to buy. But anyways, going back to arbitrage, 4-hour time frame holding right there, and 1-hour time frame. Like I said, band is already contracted a lot. Daily time frame, it's bullish, so you really want to watch out because, like I said, price could just really go and break the previous highs. And weekly is bullish too, so just want to be careful. This is definitely a counter trend, and it's only for us to try to get a better pricing on Ripple. You know, I mean, I know it's given us multiple opportunities to do that, but I still think with the way how it's acting that it's still a possibility. So that's on Ripple. Going over to Litecoin. Oh, what am I doing? This is still on. Okay, Litecoin. Trade is still running, still in profit, nothing too crazy. I don't really have much to say about this other than if this fib ends up failing, then again, I'm still looking for bullish moves. And it's funny how my stop loss would be right at my entry right here, right? It's so funny, haha. But then that's where I'll probably be looking for buys, maybe even a little bit lower on Litecoin, because I still kind of feel like it could go bearish, but as of right now, it's not showing me any type of, I'm not liking this drop, how it happened, to be quite honest. But still, hold this, and unfortunately, if this stops out, then hey, our entry will be at like 151, where our stop loss literally would be at. That's so funny. That's actually what I'm looking at now. Now that I'm really taking a peek at this, I think I am gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna get out of this and put my buy limit here. Like, I know I'm psyching myself out, but I like this way how that looks better than this, in all honesty. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So if you want, go ahead by all means. You can move your stop loss to break even. I'm putting my stop loss to break even, taking 50% off of this trade, and I'm just gonna let it do its thing. And setting a buy limit down over here. You can hold the trade and take it to the upside by all means, but that's not kind of what I'm looking at. Especially what I'm seeing on arbitrage. Well, 4-hour, this looks actually quite amazing, to be quite honest with anybody. This 4-hour looks really good for Litecoin. Daily time frame still very bearish. 1-hour time frame caught for this sell, and it's under the upper danger zone. If this breaks 185.11, then forget about it. This probably say that this thing is going to keep going to the make higher highs. And this 4-hour makes me now think if I really do want to exit, because this looks pretty decent for a buy, to be quite honest. Hold your Litecoin. Just hold it, you know. You don't even take some partials at least, you know. Take some partials. Move your stop loss to break even, like I said. If price does kick you out, then it's probably going to start dropping anyways. So let's see what happens with Litecoin, right? Ethereum, I still kind of want to see my entry get hit right here, but it did reject off this 61.8, so it can really go bullish and make higher highs. That is definitely a possibility, but I still want 1481 personally. I could definitely see price dropping down to come and grab that liquidity that might be down here, and then for price to push back to the upside. So I'm gonna watch for that, you know. I did mention right here, oh, this might be a inverted head and shoulders. Hold on. Yeah, this might be an inverted head and shoulders. I don't really trade cryptocurrencies with these patterns like that, but it's very much possible that this could be a head and shoulders play, and then price could just like continue going to the upside, you know. But what I did notice is that from this drop to down here, price that came to the 71% fib and rejected it and has respected it, right? So this could definitely still possibly drop, but again, it's kind of like with Litecoin and the other pairs. It's like I'm kind of stuck in between, but I am more bearish because I want that, you know, cheaper pricing for long-term buys on the cryptocurrencies, right? So I'm personally still gonna watch for 1481. If it misses, then it is what it is. I'll be a little salty, but it's better than me trying to get into a buy right here prematurely. Oh, and let me go look at arbitrage real quick. Sorry. So arbitrage 4 hours, same thing as Litecoin. It looks good. It's looking solid. Not the confirmations aren't fully there yet, but it looks good for a possible sell. But then the 1 hour time frame definitely is calling for a sell, and I'm really looking for a retest and a continuation, just like I had mentioned. Oops, sorry. Just like I mentioned right here, I want that breakout, retest, and continuation. So let me actually steal you real quick. And then take it down. You know? And so that's what I'm really watching out for Ethereum. I see that 4 hour, but I'm not really it's whatever to me. And I mean, from this buy, this is exactly why I don't take every single signal, because look where this buy called this. Like, you would have been in man negative. But still, I just gotta watch the cryptos right now. Except for Ripple, I'm still in that sell. And again, Litecoin, if you're in it, just move your stop loss to break even. That'd probably be the best thing you can do. Take some partial profits and watch what price would do then after. All right, Gdp Usd. Man, this pair is funny. It's a funny pair. All right, so last week we had gotten the push to the downside. Price jumped down even lower and then push up. I like this buy. I still like it. Only thing that I'd watch for is when price comes back up to like 1.38760 to watch what it would do, because from this drop, or let me just take it from this high to this low, that's where the 61.8 fib is at, and then that's where you might start to see some turbulence. But other than that, I'm still bullish on GU, you know? Still bullish on the GPs in general. So yeah, still like this buy. It's right near our entry. If you were able to get a better entry right here, 78.6, then you're in good profits right now. Daily time frame called for the sell last week. I would need a retest before I can even get into another sell. So that's one thing. 4 hour time frame is about to call for a buy very shortly. Price closed over the RSI line. Now it's just holding on there. I'm liking the buys for sure. 1 hour time frame definitely went bullish off the buy. Broke it, retest, continuation to the upside. That played out nicely. So yeah, I like this buy on GU. If I do see a sell on it though, then I'll be like, okay, we gotta watch out. Might want to exit out the trade. But overall, GU daily time frame extremely bullish. It's extremely bullish overall. So I can't really say that I want to sell this. And even the candlestick, it looks like it's just rejecting off of this main demand zone. So yeah, GU, I am definitely taking this to the upside. Or that's what my bias is telling me to take it to. GDP AUD. I'm not a fan of trading this type of pattern, but I said it last week. I wanted either a break to the downside, retest continuation, or a break to the upside, retest continuation to the upside. We got the break to the upside. So with that being said, by all means, this is something that I'm gonna be start trying to see how they play out. Gonna put my stop loss under this wick right here. I don't think price will get near it. Now, this is definitely going up against my AUD USD trade, because AUD USD, I am definitely bullish on it, right? And so that would make GA bearish, like I showed you guys the other day, the correlation between AUD USD and GBP AUD. But with the GBPs, I like I said, I feel like they're bullish, and so if they are, I want to see how this plays out. I like the risk to reward on this. It's a 1 to 3. You're risking 66 pips to get 229. And I do see this sell right here, but I've been waiting for this pendant to get broken. And I finally got the breakout, the retest. I don't like this daily candle because that could be showing that, oh, I'm going to turn all the way around on you. So that's something that you really want to watch out for. I'm going to risk 0.5% of my account on this trade. I'm not risking much. It's just a risky trade. I don't really, like, again, this is not a trade that I usually trade. This is not a setup that I usually trade. If I would have tried to get into this, it would have been down here when my man Peyton called for that sell. When called for that buy right here at 1.78128. That's when I would have gotten into this buy. So yeah, just be careful with this. GP AUD 1 hour time frame calling for that sell. Would need that retest to get into it personally. 4 hour time frame still bullish, so that's a good sign for me. It's just the smaller time frames that are really might be really calling for sells. Daily time frame calling for buys. That's a good sign as well. And the 4 hour, ooh, I like that. 4 hour over the RSI line. Yeah, let's see what this does. I like the buy. So let's see what G8 does overall. I like this buy for sure. Stop loss is a little tight, but like I said, it's just if price does come back into this, then I've been okay. Let's just be patient and wait a little bit. No need to rush into this. Actually, I'll lower it a little, slightly lower. 70 pips. Risk 70 pips on it. Why not? Alright, so that's G8. I like that. It's a 1 to 3.3 risk reward. That's a good risk reward ratio, actually. And GBP JPY, man. This was cash money last week. This was trade of the week status last week for sure. Came over down here. Went bullish perfectly. That's clean. How many pips is up right now? 236. That's beautiful. Yeah, GJ stop loss should be moved at break even. You should be taking at least 70% of your profits. And I just expect this to keep going bullish. Now, one thing I am watching for though, possibly. Let me get rid of this. Hide that. One thing I am watching for. I can delete all this. You guys don't need it anymore, do you? Actually, I want to keep these. Hide. And hide. Alright. So one thing I'm watching for GJ, possible sell right here. From that drop, boom. 71% fib. Possible sell opportunity right here. But the way how it was acting on Thursday and Friday, selling it right here could be very dangerous. And just know, on the weekly time frame, this is extremely bullish. And look at the type of candle that the weekly time frame left. Do you want to try to sell against this? Is the question you should be asking yourself. So, personally speaking, I'm not looking for any type of sells on this. I'm holding my buy. Buy played out perfectly. Almost like it's like 40 pip drawdown for 200 or something pips, and I'll take that any day of the week. So yeah, just be careful with GJ. Selling opportunity is here, but ask yourself: is that what the trend is doing, or is the trend just extremely bullish? And I mean, arbitrage is probably going to say the same thing I'm saying. Weekly time frame, bullish. Daily time frame, extremely bullish. 4 hour time frame. Oh, just called for buys. I would need a retest before I get into this, if anything. 1 hour time frame, called for that buy, break, retest. Beautiful play right there. I called that for arbitrage users. 30-minute time frame. It looks like it might want to call for a sell shortly. 15-minute time frame. Might want to call for a sell shortly. But other than that, yeah, guys, be careful with themselves. Themselves might be tricky right now. Just going over to... Why is this blue? This should be green. Euro GBP. It's Euro GBP, man. And again, this is what I said last week. Trusted your analysis, man, because there were times I was trying to get out of this trade. 43 pip stop loss. It came close 1, 2, 3 times to my stop loss. But now the stop loss is at break even. and you should have taken about 70% profits from this trade. And like I mentioned, it's down at these lows where your GDP hasn't been down here since like 2020. It hasn't been down here for a long time, like right over here in like February, March of 2020, right? So you really want to watch what your GDP is going to do over here. But so far, so good. I would not look to buy down here at these lows because it's very dangerous to try to buy at an all-time, well, not an all-time low, but a yearly low. This is a yearly low, so you might want to be careful trying to buy this. I still think this is going to drop. Personally speaking, I still think this is going to drop, so I'm going to still hold this and let things play out accordingly, you know? I was holding this for all of the last week until like the final past couple of days. I could hold it much longer. Arbitrage. Euro GBP, 15-minute time frame. Called for a sell. I don't know how. I wouldn't trade that personally right now. 30-minute time frame. Been holding under this. It could break and retest and push to the upside. 1 hour time frame. It looks like it might be setting up for a buy. I might be calling buys later on tonight on the Euro GBP pairs. 4 hour destruction. Daily time frame. Don't even talk about it. Rejection. Oh, big engulfing daily candle. Like seeing that. A weekly time frame, forget about it. Rejected off of the lower danger zone. So yeah, I'm very bearish on Euro GBP. Euro AUD, man, the pair that keeps clowning. No, I'm joking. Euro AUD. It almost came to my alert right here to let me know that okay, this is where you might be looking for buys. But still, again, guys, it's kind of, I don't like where it came and stopped at, to be quite honest with you. I don't like how price came back and just rejected off of where this wick was before. Came back, rejected off of there. I'm not really feeling that. And I am seeing these daily big candles, so I'm going to be watching for this. It could buy. It didn't hit my alert yet, so that's one thing. Oh, it did it. Wait, no, it didn't. This is definitely not hitting my alert status. Edit. Save. So yeah, I'm gonna wait and see if it does come and hit my alert for a possible entry for a buy. But I'm kind of iffy on EA for now, so we'll see what that does. I'm not gonna talk much on it. Weekly time frame. Look at the weekly candle. This looks like it's extremely bearish still. Daily time frame. Price didn't close over this, although it is holding at the lower danger zone, so we could be watching for a long-term buy opportunity very shortly. 4 hour time frame, it crossed over. I don't like seeing this. Again, this might be a sell thing coming up on EA, which makes me not want to buy GA either. So I'm just gonna have to take that GA buy and see what happens on that. So yeah, EA, not really feeling the buys at all. Like I would want to, but it's just iffy. Let price come down here, and then if it could hold down at these lows, then maybe I would reconsider for the buys. So I'm gonna go not regular. So buy box opportunity possibly, and we'll see how that plays out. Euro NZD. Oh man, I have the same thing for Euro NZD for it to come down, but it has a lot to come. It has a lot to do. But I think we have an. Oh man. I mean, arbitrage users. I had mentioned about this sell on EN. I never got into it, and it's just been slowly moving. But you would have been in profits regardless. I'm really watching Euro NZD, but I'm not gonna get. Yikes! That's huge, man. Yeah, I don't know what to think of Euro NZD until it does this retracement right here, or something of the sort. I need price to come back down over here and then continue to the upside. But this definitely looks like it's really bullish to me. I like how it broke a lot of structures. I'm gonna need that. So waiting for these prices on Euro NZD personally. I like that though. And that's about it. That's my watch list. That's my pairs that I watch for. So do I have any other questions? Do I have any questions at all? Any questions, comments, concerns? I know I've been on here for a little bit. I appreciate y'all for hopping on, for those who are live, and I appreciate those who are watching the playback. So is there any other questions, comments, or concerns? Nothing? Awesome. All right, well, take it easy, everybody, and I hope you guys have a profitable week. Let's make some money. Later, everybody.